Ah, the sweet, sweet sound of Final Fantasy in the morning just gives me so much energy. This is Final Fantasy Randomizer Spring Tournament 2020, Monty Chaos's Casino. My name is Dang Wu, and I am broadcasting with someone that's been really helping us out as of late. Sonny, welcome to the broadcast booth. How are you this morning?
Oh, it's good to be here, but I am exhausted. It has been a very, very long night.
Yeah, you did do one way last night that ran a little long, but you know what? You're back here in the morning. We appreciate it. So, this is week 4 of Swiss. That is Sky Week. So that incentive chest that's usually the adamant in the original game that will hold a key item, but it's locked behind 2 key items, obviously. The chime and the cube. But we should probably get to our main stars of the show. Enough talk of us commentators. We are not important. Left-hand side, Hypes, Nova. On the left-hand side, and on the right, we have wab1024. So, Hypes has been around, hasn't played as much, but now he's playing a lot now. It's great to see him. Wab, another one that kind of comes around, especially during the tournament season, so it is going to be awesome to see Wab play some more. This is a 1 and 2 match, so we're gonna get them going here. And Sonny, is there anything you kind of want to chat with them about while we get our runners off to the gates?
Not that I can immediately think of, but since we're sitting here and we can see what's going on, let's have a look at these party compositions, shall we?
Yeah, because we do have 2 different party compositions, as you can see here. For the question in chat, how many loose items there is, as Groggy said, 2 loose items plus a canal. Canal generally will be in the inner sea unless we find an early canoe. But on the left-hand side, a double fighter, red-black. And so that means we're going to have a better frontline tank. If one of them goes down, the other one can fill in. A little more consistent of an end game. On the right-hand side, Wab's going fighter, thief, red-black. If we have to go into marsh, the thief is there to help us run.
Now, let's be real, though, for just a hot second. How likely do you think we are to see rerolls in the first, 30 seconds on entering that white magic shop?
Very likely. Well, Hype's probably not. He's been really liking this composition of double fighter, red-black. He's been having issues in the late game in Topher. I remember he was talking about it, and somebody had suggested this composition, and so he's been really liking it for that reason. And with the spells available right now, no, they're not going to reroll to white. But, wow, this magic. We have Lit as our offensive spell. Stun is okay, actually. I'm surprised Hypes is buying Sleep too, because that only lasts for 1 round. And our weapon selection is atrocious.
This does not look like a happy seed. The heal 2 early is probably going to be pretty nice on the red mages, but the weapons and the black magic is just kind of scary. If it was me, I would probably be heading up to see our good friend Vicky before I go see Garland.
Okay, so this is an awkward positioning. A small knife's going to be tough. The good thing is Wab bought a tent. Actually, they both bought something, so this is good. We have that long first encounter. First chest is a heal potion. Nothing too fantastic. If we get an encounter and we can't run from, we can always reset. More money, that's important. Okay. So we got money. We can buy weapons, like a silver sword if it happens to be over in Provoca. Won't cost more than, I believe he had 11,000 right there. So that's good. The problem is we've got a small dagger and trying to take on Carrie with a Sleep 2 spell that lasts for 1 round. Oh, and by the way, Garland has Cremate.
Well, that cremate made very quick work of Hypes, but WAP doesn't seem to have any kind of issue with that.
So that is one thing I like what Wab did is he actually picked up. So this is one thing I learned and so we get the key and the tail. I think that's what I seen.
Yeah, that is what I saw. Wow, what do you even do with that?
So, well, obviously we got a lot of chests here, but what I was going to say is one thing I learned from watching Crab Cakes, the reigning champion from 2019, is there's our problem solved on weapons. Is early spells like Lit 1, Ice 1, Fire 1, even though they don't do damage, they still do enough to be able to take on a Garland technically. So picking up those spells when a lot of magic is horrible is a good thing.
But there's nothing wrong with picking up the early game magic in the early game. That's kind of what they're there for. Personally, I love seeing that Moss Moon, but I almost would have rather seen Thor.
Yeah, kind of. But the good news is most of the level 1 magic the bad magic has kind of been taken out. I mean, obviously we still have a lot more, but level 2 and level 3 should have at least a zap or a cake, to work with. And having that Masa early means is this could be potentially a jet seed if we enter in go mode really quickly. Heal 3 is available, harm 3 if we really need to. If there's no good black magic. But, Nuke, okay,
Hey.
well, our problems are solved with Quad X and Warp, so it went from bad magic to, oh, hey, this is great magic. With Lock also. So that level 2 magic's so loaded. Wow.
It almost looks overwhelmingly so. I'm not real sure I really want Nuke and Warp on the same tier.
I mean, it's not... You don't want Nuke and Temper, for sure, because both of them generally, like especially in Temple of Fiends Revisited, requires multiple casts to kill anything, and you burn through those charges really quickly. And I'm seeing a bunch of people in chat as we get the canoe. So we get level 2 Nuke, and that basically allows us to do a lot of things here. Wab can choose, to gain some levels, like in the river tiles, going to Crescent, make his way over to Volcano, kill Carrie, do Ice Cave. We have the Warp spell. Same thing with Hypes. It's interesting here because Hypes with the double fighter might work a little bit better with the Nuke spell. But at the same time, Wab can Dan off that Thief and gain experience for 3 characters instead of 2. So it's an interesting, situation for both runners here.
Now, would you really want to Dan off the Thief, though, since you have that early tail and you can promote, like, the second you get the floater?
Well, you can. So, one thing is you can Dan off the Thief now, right? And let's say we get the floater a little bit later. We can bring it back up when we get closer to go mode, where we don't have to check a whole lot, and we might just be taking some fights for experience. Get it up to 15 or, close to 21, where it's got all of its spell charges. But it's one of those weird things of how much are we going to actually use the Thief in this situation? Because we already have Moss at this point. The Thief kind of loses its value outside of Nuke right now. So I figure here, Sonny. Oh, I figure here. In this situation, we'll check a lot of the key locks here. At least Northwest, Elfland, especially Elfland, because we're gonna want those level 3 and 4. There's a ribbon, so and a gold bracelet. Wow. Okay. This is looking a lot better for our runners here. This is like a complete opposite of the last time I rolled a seed.
We can see the credits. That's always cool.
Good old 7-minute and 20-second bridge boss. So the early ribbon, that really allows or cements our runners the ability to take on carry. Because carry can roll like Inferno, Blizzard, Thunder, or Poison. So having that ribbon allows our new caster to do damage without really getting wrecked on the first turn.
It's actually kind of a relief to see the Masa and the ribbon, and especially Nuke. For a second there was a really rocky start. I was thinking the game was going, oh, hey, Sunny's casting again. Let's make this another Hell Seed. Just kidding.
Now, this is kind of good for Web. If he can kill this Sentry with his casters, yeah, that's nice experience. Yeah, it only went to his 2 casters, but I'm going to be completely honest with you. At this point, his casters are the ones that's going to carry him at this point. Having a lot of nuke charges is a good thing. SVJ asking about poison. Yeah, damage poison, stone poison. Heck, even a fire 3 or, any 3rd level magic tier from those fiends can do some serious damage because we're probably going to be taking on carry at a low level. In Temple of Fiends. Oh, well, they're just asps hanging out in Temple of Fiends locked.
We got Wab picking up a dragon sword and an opal hat. That doesn't seem too bad. Also finding Ice 3 in the black magic shop at level 3.
Ice 3 is a good find. There's several reasons why I like Ice 3, especially this early, because we're going to be going to Volcano. Volcano definitely has a lot of enemies that are weak to ice, and there's a Cure 4, so we don't get bruised, but we get Cure 4. That is also Knight learnable, so our Knight is looking pretty good right now. We have Cure 4. Obviously, it's not life, but... And that's Exit Red Wizard learnable.
And also Zap from the Black Magic Shop. That's not bad at level 4, I guess.
No, it's not.
To answer the question in chat, this was trying to be trolly, but it pulled a bait and switch on me. It was like, oh yeah, we're gonna just troll the crap out of Sunny. Just kidding, it's gonna be a normal seed.
No, it definitely did. It definitely acted like it was going to be a rough seed, and then, the water split apart, and it allowed our runners to have an easy road ahead. Because, Nuke, Warp, Quad X, Lock, we have Cure 4 red mages are loaded. As you can see here, Webb is taking the river with only 2 light warriors. I think he's trying to take a battle. Nope, he was just go-moding. Okay. I thought maybe he was trying to gain levels with his casters.
I mean, that seemed like a reasonable thing to do if you really, really want magic that quickly. And I can't see any reason why you would.
I mean... It's just really nice with the way it worked out. Ice 3 is not on the nuke charge, so we can cast Ice 3. That prevents us from, using up the nuke.
We're getting a rod from the old men standing in a circle. That's... Well, okay, I guess if they really like playing sticks.
Alright, so Web's going to leave. Did he finally revive his casters?
You know, I didn't happen to notice he revived his casters, but I
He
did take
didn't?
note that Bane and Brack were level 6 black magic, so probably not going to see those for a little bit.
Web is diving down Volcano Armory, and he just realized he didn't revive his characters. Yep. He just realized he forgot to revive his fighter thief. And yeah, it's going to be a lot easier. I mean, I know we've got great nuke spells and stuff like that, but one gold bracelet, it's going to be a
I
little
actually
rough.
thought he did that on purpose.
I mean, I kind of did too at first, but then I was like, this could go badly real quick. I mean, you're going to gain several levels in Volcano anyways, taking these fights. And you already have a house, so it should be alright. But left-hand side, talking about gambling, the theme of this 2020 Spring Tournament, hypes, left-hand side, going into Marsh. We already have the canoe, and he is diving into Marsh. He's hoping for a loose here.
Those gargoyles not playing around with their punches, though.
The poor fighter on Hype's Nova's side only has a copper bracelet. Web, on the other hand, equips his fighter with an ice armor, so much better equipment for Web's fighter.
Iron hat and a little bit of jewelry. Doesn't look like the first floor Marsh has anything too interesting to it.
That's right, Gregory. We are here on a nice Saturday morning watching some Final Fantasy Randomizer. Groggy Dog is in the background pushing the 1s and 2s as our tracker. Thank you, Groggy, for doing this. Although, in the pregame, all he did was spamming us with the messages of all the delicious food he was eating and stuff like that. It was awful. It felt like I was being tortured.
I'm not convinced we weren't just being tortured.
It kind of felt that way, I'm just saying. I mean, there's a lot of good food he was just like, showing us pictures of and just spamming on. I mean, it was awful.
Oh. Hey, we got a loose slab from the Volcano Armory. That's always interesting to see.
Alright, so we find a loose slab. Obviously, one of our 2 loose. Red dragons are hitting hard. Considering we have decent equipment on a couple of our light warriors here. Ice 3's cat. Oh my gosh, these red dragons are so easy to kill. This could be a good grind tile to gain early levels for Web. One Ice 3 took him out for like 123 damage. If they didn't hit so hard, this could be worthwhile.
I still might be tempted to hang out and hit that tile up once or twice.
That's what he's doing. I mean, he's got a house. This gets him a lot better off to take on carry. He's getting spell charges. He's getting the HP values that our light warriors need. And, I mean, he's already level 12 on one of his casters. And I think he confused himself on where he needed to go in his treasure chest because he got so excited over that red dragon tile.
I mean, at this hour, can you really blame him for getting a little bit confused?
No, you should have seen. There's our canal, so Hype's actually pays off pretty good here because Web's not going to go here. He's going to go this into Ice Cave. And if Ice doesn't have the floater, which I don't think it should, Hypes will be leaving the inner sea a lot quicker. So, experience-wise, Wab is going to win this one. Just because we got that red dragon tile, we're able to use it and gain some levels. Now, Hypes could obviously get it too. It's just right now, experience-wise, Web is kind of taking the advantage here. And can make his... Oh boy, Lizards from Ogres are just terrorizing Hypes at this point.
All that for a silver hammer.
Right? So, Blizzard... So, with the Ogres, that means Earth Cave could be dangerous. Because Ogres do show up there. And Web is
It could always be worse, though. It could always be worse.
SPJ saying the canal's been in Marsh. It does end up in Marsh a lot of the time. But sometimes with that early canoe, that Marsh ends up in Volcano or Ice Cave. So it's definitely interesting. And I think
It could be that you don't even need the canal. I mean, I got to see a seed like that just the other day. That was amazing. Canal not even required.
I like this play by Webb here. If you guys haven't been paying attention, he's actually been hitting. I'm hoping this is on purpose. He's on purposely hitting the gray worm spike tiles wherever they are on this floor, and he's using that to cast Ice 3 to get that experience on his way down to carry. It's essentially free experience, unless they ambush you, because we obviously know that they hit hard. But he's using that knowledge of how weak they are, hitting those spike tiles on his way down while checking chests. It's kind of brilliant, actually.
I certainly wouldn't say no to those tactics, but Hypes did reset out of Marsh. I'm not sure if he popped out to save for that canal, but looks like he has to go get it again.
Yeah, it looks like Hypes used a little too much of his nuke charges when he was checking, unfortunately. Oh, Red Bones being Red Bones, able to take a nuke shot and not go down. That's always exciting. Hypes finds his canal again.
And then noping his way on out of there because he knows there's nothing else to see.
Rock goals right after. Oh, this volcano is loaded with rich experience. And the red dragons themselves rolled low enough that, it's almost... that is just really good source of experience for how easy they were to kill. I know I keep rehashing this, but this early game got a lot easier on top of having Nuke and Ice 3.
So aside from Marsh, where would Wab possibly go after Volcano?
Ice Cave, more than likely. Yeah, because he's in the area. He's gonna do Ice Cave and hope the floater's there or the canal's there. If that doesn't work out, then he'll go to Marsh, because that's where our biggest treasure chests are. Or our biggest source of treasure chest is. Alright, so I see two nuke charges on the red mage. Maybe 2 charges on the black mage. But we get to offset that with a Masa on the fighter, so carry outside of being really nasty should be an easy fight.
So if carry is not carry, should be okay.
It should be. Like I said, Masa really tips the favor in Wab's, thing already. We already had Nuke anyways. So, it'd only be a matter of maybe 2 or 3 rounds at most. But with that Masa that's already going to do Nuke level damage, it should... Or we'll just take it down with 1 Nuke here for 360. That works too, right?
I think that was secretly Lich just cosplaying as carry.
That's the power of Nuke here. You get that... And Hypes is going to leave the inner C completely here. Says, "No, I'm good."
It looks like we got us a fun time raid in chat.
That's right. Quick Mind rating, thank you. Welcome to Final Fantasy Randomizer. This is the 2020 Spring Tournament. Monty Chaos's Casino, week 4 of our Swiss. If you know anything about Final Fantasy, that sky floor, or that sky cave, if you want to call it, the floating castle, that is one of our incentivized ones for this week, where the adamant was in the original game. That is our incentive chest, or one of our incentive chests. Along with Ice Cave, where Web is now, we have Ordeals as another incentive location, and the Titan's Trove. I swear I've seen an ice armor on Web's side. He equipped that, right?
I'm not sure now that you mention it, but speaking of armor, Hype's over there getting out his warriors with some spiffy new silver stuff.
Okay, he reset out of it. Interesting choice there, because ice armor is really good. Gives our fighter protection from fire spells, and basically the second highest armor or absorb we can get on our fighter. So interesting choice, but Wab's got a plan. Although, okay, so Wab's doing this with about 6 heals because he had to use a lot of them while in Volcano because of those lava tiles that were eating up our health and the red dragons that were, well, kind of mean. I mean, great source of experience. They just hit like trucks. Ate up a lot of Wab's spell or healing potions, and you can see the level of disparity here between Wab and Hype's Nova right now.
Hey Ding, do you take song requests?
FFR in the morning jingle. I don't know what the FFR jingle is. Oh, Hypes is going into ice. Look at this play. Both of our runners are going to be hanging out in Ice Cave this quickly. One of them's a lot higher level. There's the chime. Oh boy.
There's a couple of us that are a little bit afraid of what a early chime actually means now.
I mean, so right now, Wab's looking at this and goes, okay, well, I don't have the canal. I can't leave. I don't have the floater. I can't leave where I'm at. So after this, he has to go to Marsh. There's no other choices. He's checked every other key lock location except for Marsh. And Hype's being a little too loose has left us on the left-hand side here. Waters are available to grind on if we need to. They're weak to ice spells, ironically.
That seems reasonable. I mean, you freeze them up, they can't move anymore.
And I see 60 frames per second for Hype's Nova, but no action. He's moving so fast, we don't even know what's going on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
This does not look good.
"30 minutes in, his emulator has crashed and wiped his save. We are 26 minutes in.
I mean, that is really terrible, but strictly speaking, he could still catch up with the knowledge he has.
So for anybody out there, what had happened? Unfortunately, Hypes Nova's emulator crashed. I'm getting confirmation from the tournament organizers. I just want to make sure how we're going to proceed. It's like FFR After Dark, but less fun by Groggy Dog. That's right. Tracker over there. Oh, and Wab's... I just realized that Wab's thing was a little off crop there, but... it's a little zoomed in here, so... Why on Hypes Nova?
I mean, it does seem to be a pretty crucial game, so having that kind of thing happen, that's gonna hurt.
So I'm just getting confirmation from the tournament organizers. We're gonna see what's going on.
Now, for now, it looks like Hypes is jumping back into it, even if he has to start over. A 30-minute deficit isn't insurmountable. Let's not mince words, it's hard as hell, but it's not insurmountable.
Just getting confirmation here, trying to figure out... So, we're just having Hypes right now play for a second here to just see. And I'm talking to the runners now in the SRL chat. Both of our runners here are showing great sportsmanship. Wab's like, if Hypes want to do it, we can re-roll it. If Hypes is like, no, it's up to you. It's kind of funny. It's like one of those things where both people are at the door and they're both trying to let the other one through first. And they're both sitting there like, no, you go first. No, you go first. Okay. Web says we're gonna re-roll it. So let me make sure real quick. Uh, 9 to 12. Okay, so we gotta do this quick. Alright, so we're gonna re-roll real quick for everybody here. Bye free. This is good sportsmanship by everybody here. I appreciate it.
I always love to see a really good sense of honor in gaming, and this is an excellent example of that.
Alright, so we're going to set this up real quick here so we can get this underway here. FF1 flag, we're going to get these guys going. Alright, both of them are in the stream. I've already rolled the new seed. We're going to get this going here in inside about 2 minutes here, so please hold on. I apologize for everybody that is there for the inconvenience that just happened to slow down the race. Webb showing great sportsmanship, realizes that these things happen, and considering the advantage that he had in doing this, I can't do anything but applaud him and, you know, say thank you for doing what he's doing.
While we're waiting, how's everyone in chat doing today?
That's a good question, Sonny. Nice early in the morning, and we're here playing FFR. Well, you and I are in the broadcast booth.
We're playing vicariously through our runners.
That's
we
right.
feel Hype's pain. We feel the pain of this reroll, but we are definitely playing vicariously through them. You know, I'll be honest with you, I still haven't actually played the Final Fantasy Randomizer. I've never played the original Final Fantasy. I've only played the Dawn of Souls edition. Last night did not encourage me to even touch it, but I may have to, just so I can get a better idea of what everything does.
Sorry, I got slightly distracted by Griggly Puff bringing up pancakes. Darn.
Oh, come on. Again?
Look, Grocky Dog and Griggly are like the same thing. Talk about the recipe. I mean, I got Danny here wanting me to sing FFR, love songs or whatever they are. I don't know. Jingles. So we're going to get these both underway. Obviously, we're probably not going to have the craziness that just happened here. Level 1 magic, last seed was awful. But level 2 definitely paid off big for our runners there. Lots of great stuff. Hypes is ready. Wab's just about ready. He's ready. We're about to set him off here. Alright, we're going to release them for the second time. This is how hardcore our runners are. They said, you know what? That seed is too easy. Bring on a harder one. I said, I got you guys. Here it is.
Cat, they want a harder one, I'm sure. I can find the seed from last night. That was a nightmare.
I don't know. Both of these runners were running really good.
Well, with any luck at all, we'll have a jet seed, and we won't be sitting here as long as we would have with the previous seed. Just get Canoe and Key right out the gate. We'll have Biggie with something fantastic, maybe the floater, and we'll just be able to go everywhere all at once.
I mean, that'll be an interesting one here, but we are off for the second time here. Let's see what kind of sweet magic I've got for our runners today. Ooh, life. That's Knight learnable, Red Mage learnable, everybody learnable. Oh, I keep delivering the best level 1 magic in black.
Dang, I think I'm gonna have to roll these seeds next time.
No. This is what our viewers want. Ooh, Silver Sword for 1,700. Great sword there for cheap, so that's great to find.
Yeah, it's really hard to argue with that. It beats the crud out of small dagger.
Ooh, look at Web here. Fancy check. You're going to talk to the king and gets rewarded with the crystal.
I was not immediately aware you could just go up and talk to the king and get an item. I thought you actually had to clear Garland first.
In the original, you do. With the randomizer, you don't, because the king no longer gives. Ooh, well, there's a sun sword there, so instead of giving them a masa, they get a sun sword. Opal helmet, and there's the floater loose, our first loose
floating floater.
item.
Warp on level 2 again, along with Lock 2 and Fire 3, so not really wanting for magic. It's not as good as Nuke, but there it is.
Interesting, though. So, Wab's got level 2 magic, but he's trying to beat on an ogre with a life spell on his red mage, and a lock spell, and all punching. Okay. This is a scary proposition. Heat comes out. Wab didn't save. Has to remake all of his characters here. Oh no.
That seemed like a poor life choice.
I understand it. I've done it. Especially with the bad level 1 magic. I've been there and I've done it. But with that sun sword though, see, this is the one strange thing is when you try to be cute like that, Temple of Fiends generally can be the easier option. And he's been reset out again.
Oh, jeez. And Hype's finishing with Garland and getting that rod. So, I'm not really sure what that would point him to, but that floater is always especially nice, and he's got his crystal too. Where do you go from there? Just go visit Bicky and then maybe Matoya?
Well, for Hypes, it's possible. He's now got money because he defeated Garland. He's got a sun sword. He can do a lot of the stuff that Wab can't. The downside, like I said, of being the cute part and going to Provoca is you still have to gain that level 2 on your Light Warriors to cast this magic. So, like, unfortunately for him, he's going to have to either punch out the pirates with almost no health, no armor.
And Matoya holding high explosives. What was she going to do with those?
Well, you know, she got a little angry that she lost her eyepiece or her crystal, so, you know, I don't know. She was rubbing a dynamite, like, trying to look into the future. It's a weird thing, but, you know. She's in a cave by herself.
TNT does sweat nitroglycerin, right? That's supposed to be good for the heart.
I mean, she's in a cave with walking brooms that say, you know, push select AB at the same time.
I haven't seen anybody talk to the brooms. I don't know what they say. I know in the vanilla they talk backwards, though, right?
Yeah, well, that's what they're saying. Push AB, start, and select at the same time. Because that brings up the map.
And that is something I've seen exactly once, and that thing takes forever to draw.
So, pirate here, but it should go down pretty easy here for... Oh, it's just B select? Oh, I thought it was AB select. Wab's gonna realize that he's wasted 5 minutes here trying to be cute. I say cute because that's what I try and do, and it always costs me. Wab's a better runner.
Man, if you were Wab, you'd probably be feeling awful about that. But a cube for Hypes from Vicky. Playing some dice with the pirate.
And the adversary, yep. Okay, it's push B select. So there's our one loose. There's 2 loose total. We've already found the vendor item. It's the crown for about 20,000. So, I mean, we're finding a lot of stuff here really early to make up for this. Now, the one thing here, obviously, Wab needs to... I mean, he was doing very well in that first seed. He was great levels early. You know, I mean, he was in the driver's seat in that situation. He showed the sportsmanship, re-rolled because of an emulator crash. And now he just needs to calm it down here and play his game. If he plays his game, you know, he can catch up here. He can give the Hypes the run. Hypes has the early advantage, but it's kind of going now because he's doing the Peninsula Power grind.
That Peninsula Power is legendary even among people who don't play Final Fantasy. Everybody knows about the Peninsula.
The Peninsula Power grind it's nice. It's just... It's not needed with these flags as much as it might have been in the past. Although this Fire 3 didn't hit very hard, Giants rolled big, so... This could be Yeah, this grind could be a wipe for Hypes here. He didn't save it after his first battle. Glance comes out. Yep, these Giants are not very fun. I mean, that's the downside of the Peninsula Power there. Especially if you don't have enough charges or, you know, camping equipment.
It looked like Hypes had a brief moment of, dude, where's my boat?
But, I mean, Sonny, our viewers are growing. The fans out there are rabid. They are going hungry for FFR action because they have woken up at 9 o'clock in the morning, almost 10 now, and are watching us. I have to admit, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for coming to watch us. My name is Dang Wu. Sonny has joined us in the broadcast booth, a recent addition to the broadcast crew, and a joy to work it with. I should also mention the guy in the back there eating pancakes and whatever else crazy breakfasts he's doing.
Tormenting us with spicy jams.
I know. He's not even giving us notes anymore. He's just talking about his breakfast all the time. And Sonny had mentioned it there. The Matoyo had the TNT. Now Web is officially caught up to Hypes. This grinding is not really paying out for Hypes. I mean, he's level 7 now. It is. It's just very slow. The advantage that he had on Wab is, you know, going away very quickly. And it's gone.
I feel like I'm compelled to speak very quickly and end with, and it's gone.
I mean, that's kind of how it was. He had a lead, and And it's gone. So, the good news for anybody that watched the first seed that they rolled, they got Warp back. Although, they exchanged Nuke for Fire 3, so definitely a big downgrade.
Also trading that Masa for a Sun Sword.
Yeah, that's very true, too. But, you know what, a Sun Sword works at these levels. You know, especially this early, that's fine. Alright, so Wab's already talked to Matoya, got his TNT from Matoya. Looks like steel armor was 33,000. Wab checked it really quickly, probably only looked at the names and not the pricing, so...
That is awfully expensive for steel, it seems like. I mean, the silver stuff, pure silver armor has been costing less.
Speaking of food for breakfast, give me that steak. It's gonna be hard though. Tyros have very good MDef. Could be evasive here. This could be a dangerous fight for Hypes, but he wants it this morning. Oh no, the Tyro headhunts Wes. The poor red mage on Hype side. This is a battle. Ooh, the stun, power word stun. That means Tyro has over 300 HP when it hit. Another stun. He's hoping.
He's making the light warriors into a light snack.
The stun hit. Tyro is under 300 HP. He's got to get through this. Power word stun works like Quad X. If the Tyro has 300 HP or less and doesn't resist status effects, and there it is. Nice, delicious steak. Was it worth it for 2 light warriors? I don't know, but you know what? We're eating meat this morning. Yes, Gregory. Stun works like Quad X. Hold is the one that is the one that works like a normal paralyze. Where it goes up against your MDef and stuff.
Learning new things every day.
I know, right? And Sealy Faye pointing out that blind was 2. I have to admit, I will never use blind, but that is good to know that is a power word also that I will never use. Especially at 300 HP or less. Give me Quad X, give me stun over that any day. And
looks like we trade some high explosives for a musical number with the loot. That's interesting. Oh, there's a new game I like to play now. It's called How Many Times Do You Visit Dwarf?
Oh no, Kurt Wolves with Quad X. At least it's not the Wolves, or we'd see the entire WAB party just get decimated by Quad X. Alright, so if you just tuned in here, we obviously re-rolled it here. WAB, kind enough to do it. I'm kind of rehashing this. So in this new one here, WAB is doing more exploring. He's, progressing, if you want to call it, exploring, checking all the key items right now. Hypes on your left-hand side is doing a grind to gain some levels. And I'm not sure what he's doing. Yeah, he's doing more pop grind. Okay. Grigglypuff, his favorite game, Sonny, is the quadruple dive dwarfs. If you're Caleb, you will go into Provoca like 8 to 10 times. Speaking of Quad X, there's Quad X. Saber also cast the spell Saber. I was thinking of the Power Gauntlet there.
Heal 2 and Life 2 and Invis 2. I'm not sure how much I like seeing all 3 of those at once.
So that basically means Hype's Nova's party will probably never die once those knights promote. Because okay, so Hypes was getting money for the crown, so that's why the Peninsula Power grind he did. That makes sense.
That's fair enough. And Web picked up a level 4 Temper for something, I believe. Unless he just saw it. But either way, Temper on level 4. I'll be real with you. I don't think I've ever actually seen the spell Saber cast outside of an item.
You don't think you've seen a what? I'm sorry.
I don't think I've seen Saber ever cast that wasn't from an item or something. No black mages just ever cast it.
Well, so black mages, it's not really useful for it unless it's an absolute last-ditch effort. Ninjas will cast it because obviously it increases their damage and accuracy. But I mean, you already have a power bonk that's infinite cast, but because the knight is so useful, or the fighter is so useful, you just don't see a lot of people cast it. I mean, knights can't learn the white magic, unfortunately, so you might see it from red mages, though, on occasion.
I mean, I've seen ninjas, but I never see them use it because they're too busy casting stuff like Fast and Temper on the knight.
I mean, that's just the aspect of the game is that thieves are definitely a lot better with the thief fixes we did. We increased their hit rate, so they can hit breakpoints a lot earlier and more hits earlier. So they can do pretty good. It's just a bad HP growth, bad MDef, just makes them very hard to do anything. And when you're access to black magic instead of white magic, you don't really have the wipe protection that a knight offers.
Hey, there's a familiar sight on website picking up that canal and marsh and the Oxyale from Astos. Wow. Okay.
So, yeah, we don't have the canoe, but we have the canal now. That means we have access to... let's see, we don't have the canoe, so we have access to Crescent. That'll probably hold our progression with a canoe, more than likely at this point. But we do have Earth. We do have Sea Shrine, so... we could be... if Crescent doesn't give us our progression, we're looking for a loose item at this point. And that's going to be our second loose.
Now, based on recent events that I've seen, that Oxyale could just be saying, hey, take a quick dip into Sea Shrine, go visit the mermaids, that's where your progression's hiding.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that call either. So, obviously, if they get the canoe, we're flying, because we already have the floater. If it's... oh yeah, so yeah. So yeah, as long as it's not the canoe, we have those two options left to us, essentially. Ice Cave or I'm sorry, Sea Shrine or Earth. And both of them are Fiend Dungeons, both of them we have to do. Spell-wise, I believe we don't really have great spells for either of them, technically.
Yeah, the spell's not quite as friendly as last time. There's no really heavy-hitting stuff, no Fade, no Nuke. Just Fire 3, I think this is maybe the best offensive spell.
Yep, Fire 3 is not going to get you very far in Sea Shrine. So Earth might be the better call because of it. It's such an awkward positioning. Our best spell is Fire 3, and we have access to a Sea Shrine. What do?
I mean, Wab only visited, like, the first chest in the bottom of the marsh to pick up that canal. We don't necessarily know if there might not be another loose item down there, or maybe a ribbon. Exit at level 5 and harm 4. That's pretty good magic tier for white mages, at least in terms of what's there. Lit 3 and what was that, Fast on the black mage for level 5?
So Lit 3 at level 5 is good. So that is learnable by the red mage and the black mage. On top of that, exit was in that first slot, which is red mage learnable. Now the downside is red mages don't learn level 5 until level 15. And black mages don't learn level 5 magic until level 12. So the level 12 is a lot easier to get, obviously. That at least makes the Sea Shrine dive more manageable. But it's still going to be rough.
Apparently, it's always Earth Week, it's always Water Week, as long as it's not always Shark Week.
Uh-oh. Left-hand side, Hypes gets away from the... Oh. Hype says, look at that cheeky check of the canal. It's almost like he drew it up.
Still not going to go check the rest of Marsh. Gonna warp out and save real quick. That... I don't know. I think I personally would just go ahead and scout, see what's down there. For all we know, our Moss Moon's still down there. Our good stuff could be hiding in...
Wab gets bullied by the troll, couldn't run from it. The troll whacked all of his characters down. Then when Wab went to cast Fire 3, the troll unleashed Blaze and wiped him out. Troll's literally trolling Wab right now.
Troll's got a troll.
I mean, that was the ultimate troll there. That was not nice at all.
Oxyel came from Astos, and the crown was our vendor item today.
Simple Sarah saying the canoe is in Marsh. She's calling it now. So, one play that's interesting here, for anybody that doesn't know this, Wab is diving down Earth instead of checking Crescent. With that canal, we can check the Crescent sages and get a key item. So instead of doing that, he's just diving Earth. Maybe it's an informational dive, only doing a couple, floors. But it's an interesting dive. Hypes, on the other hand, is he making the dive to Onrak? Why are you going to Onrak? Oh, he's going to do the sea play. So both runners have decided to forego the easy incentive and are going to check out non-incentive dungeons. Hypes has no spells, by the way. And there is a raid by SG2. Welcome. This is Final Fantasy Randomizer's Spring Tournament 2020, Monty Chaos' Casino. And Hypes, I think, realizes that he should probably go to Crescent here because Fire 3 does not do well in Sea Shrine. We did.
Yeah, I just feel those waves and waves of regret coming off of Hypes for going down that far.
I mean, that would have been a...
Forgetting he doesn't have canoe.
I mean, that's a whole lot of run. Like, you have to run that entire way and hope that you run into ghosts, and the ghosts are going to be nice.
Are ghosts ever nice, though?
No. The ghosts are never nice. Now, the good news for Web is he's got the money. He can buy Exit and Lit 3, but he says bye-bye Melman doesn't pick up any spells there. Okay. So now Wab's banking everything on Crescent. Easy to forget about spells there, but there was a lot of good spells. Gold bracelets for 8,300, 8,400 in Crescent.
Looks like Hype's picking up some chain armor while he's there. Any port in the storm.
I mean, iron armor on two fighters like this makes that front line a whole lot better. And a bunch of people coming to hang out in chat after that SG raid. Nuke level 6, that is
black. And Ice 3.
Black magic only. Or black mage only for Nuke. And there's the herb. We can check that pretty quickly here. Both runners hoping, actually almost doing a high five. What? Wab's gonna walk it out. Both runners banking that this is going to lead to the canoe. If it is Hypes, where are you going? Okay. He's gonna go east. One's going east, the other one's going... Okay, Web, I don't know where you're going. Where are you going, Web?
This right to Davy Jones' locker.
That's kind of what... Oh. Alright, so... Interesting play here by Hypes, right? We found the herb. We already know where the crown is. How many inner sea turn-ins do we have left? Yeah, we're done crystal. So, with this inner sea play by Hypes, he's hoping that this leads to the adamant. Unless he's hoping that from here he's just going to go to Earth Cave. Or this could be Ruby. I mean, either way, it wouldn't matter where you parked. It was just an interesting choice. And it's the slab, so... We're looking for a loose. So we're looking for our second loose for both of our runners for progression-wise.
I think it might be the nightmare that loose might be hiding in marsh.
I mean, it might be. Both runners instantly exited out of marsh. They didn't check the rest of it. So, 2 loose items, very possible to get inside of, 35, 40 minutes. But for these runners, they need to get level 12 if they're going to go into Sea Shrine technically. They are not well equipped to go into Sea Shrine. We have nothing to kill anything in Sea Shrine.
Hey, we got
except for ghosts.
Or with a 50-man raid. How y'all doing?
Welcome, welcome. We're just hanging out here bright and early, playing some Final Fantasy Randomizer, watching the pain and torture that these runners are going through.
Oh, hey, did we happen to see that, let's see, I think that's the Provoco weapon or shop?
He was selling.
Oh, okay. Something about selling the Sun Sword, that doesn't seem right to me.
Right? So, as our tracker pointed out, Wab's trying to get, was trying to get money to buy the crown, which we know leads to Oxyel. And Hypes, because of the spells that Hypes has, I can definitely see checking the spike tiles, trying to gain levels, and doing Earth Cave. This is important here because we're looking for the last loose that's available in the seed, but we're also looking for the ever important progression. It's going to be either canoe or canoe at this point.
I'm getting a feeling of deja vu over there on Wab's side. I think we've seen this before.
So yeah, our progression's either chime or canoe. With the floating castle being incentivized, it can still be a chime loose. And we have the cube, so in logic that would allow us to do that way. And then the incentive then would be the canoe, which would be awful for our runners.
I mean, yeah, that would be pretty bad for our runners, but at least it would be entertaining for the rest of us. To an extent.
That's right, Sealy Faye. You know it's a seed when both players independently do a pop grind at separate times, and Hypes learns that trolls are not nice. Blaze comes out, wipes Hypes here. He's trying to burn the encounter to not take on the trolls. He's trying to encounter manipulate, but he faces the gargoyles. They have 5 hits. They are not playing nice either if they get a hold of your casters.
At least they don't have crack.
True. Or blaze. Hey, there's mummies, but
Or
they have
cremate, apparently.
So, ordeals, dangerous. Ice cave, dangerous. Earth cave, dangerous. Waterfall, dangerous.
Wouldn't be much of a game if the entire world wasn't dangerous, though.
Asps are, well, our best grind tile at the moment. No, but seriously though, if I'm hyped though, I haven't seen him really look at any of the spike tiles, and I think that's the play that he needs to do here. Gain some levels, and do it that way. At least then if there's a good spike tile there, you at least open yourself up to going into the sea shrine and do the mermaid side of things.
Alright, so a slight newbie question here. What is a spike tile?
The spike tile is a tile that is designated that anytime you walk over it, you will get an encounter. And the encounter is already predetermined. In this situation, it's randomized. So we can run into like 9 bad men, 3 eyes, because we've alternated what it did. I see his times. I haven't seen anything on Hype's side yet. He hasn't talked anything in IRC. Something might have came up randomly. You never know. Early morning. Maybe he had a delicious breakfast. Who knows?
At this hour in the morning, it could be anything. Maybe a package showed up at his door.
That's... I mean, he might have gotten his DoorDash of pancakes. Groggy Duck, did you try and tease our runner with pancakes? Are you trolling him with pancakes right now? Quad X, Astos goes down. We've got our Oxio for Web, so we've officially caught up on both of our runners here at this point. Both of them complete opposites. Hypes is back. He was rethinking of what he wanted to do. Uh-oh. Trolls and bulls. We want to keep away from those trolls.
Yeah, no, I think that encounter just encapsulates this seed so far.
Keep away from trolls.
It's just a whole bunch of trolls and bull.
Yeah, right? And once... Wow, Hypes actually leaves that one chest also. So, the reason why I find this interesting, and it's something that I was talking with the Kenny Star is that Earth tile, you should be checking. That's not linked. There is 3 chests in that northeast room, and all 3 of them you need to check. I seen it, Kenny when I was commentating his race yesterday. Yeah, no, exactly. That it looks exactly like the volcano. Yeah, I just had not seen a lot of runners do it up until this spring tournament.
Maybe that's why I see a lot of runners checking the link chests that we know are empty because they're not always sure.
I mean, it's interesting that he didn't check it, but I mean, I understand it because yeah, it does look a lot like the volcano chest, but that's why I try and call it out in the commentary. Hopefully that, they're watching it back. Important. And I see Twitch early morning is having its wake-up call.
Oh, let's see here. We got Wab in Sea Shrine.
He's doing Sea Shrine. He's going to rely upon that thief to run. I don't believe he picked up any lightning spells, so outside of Quad X, we're going to have an interesting time trying to kill anything.
I mean, if Wab happened to have caught the seed last night, maybe he's thinking the same thing I am. When the game gives you something that unlocks a dungeon, you go to that dungeon.
I mean, max price chest is always nice to find. Getting free 65,000 gold in one chest. I mean, yes, please. Ice armor.
That's always nice.
Ooh,
Defense sword. All right. Love
Yep.
seeing that.
Okay. Alright, so the play here, obviously, Wab still, if he so chooses, still has 2 more rooms that he can check once he... There's our last Adam... our loose. There's our progression. Earth play is our progression. We find an ice sword on Wab's side, so interesting items found by both players here. The defense is crucial. Lobsters was slow. Perfect. We're gonna waste time. Oh, squint too. That could be a problem. Adamant was in the chest just before a vampire. Hypes Nova. Wait, Hypes, why'd you leave?
Probably just really desperate to turn in that adamant and hope that you can get something better before during Earth.
Wow. Hypes just said... no, Gregory, it can actually lead to Chime. Chime or floater. Or, I mean, canoe.
I think the more trolly version would be it leading to Chime and needing to dip into... Oh, it could lead to Ruby too, apparently. Which opens up 2 more chests.
I should have thought of Ruby too. That's a good point.
For those of you playing at home, that was the second dip into dwarves.
I mean, it had options. You know, it's Chime, the canoe, or Ruby, which then gives us 2 more key checks, which it still could do the same thing. It could be like Opal Bracelet, Chime, or Thor's Hammer, Chime. We have found 2 loops.
I don't think I would argue with a Thor's Hammer, to be perfectly honest with you. Thor's Hammer is pretty much exactly what you need for Sea Shrine right about now.
Yeah, and Wab... Okay, Wab's... I mean, there's no way Wab's taking out Kraken. I don't think so.
If Wab goes and takes out Kraken... I don't even know.
I'm trying to think here. So, if Wab wants to take out Kraken, Kraken would have to roll the lowest HP. We'd have to get a good shot with our Sun Sword, and then Quad X it.
A Kraken would have to be made of paper mache and have noodles for tentacles.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the easiest thing. Yeah, and as it's pointed out, tigers have damage poison, so that's not very tasty to go up against. Well, that's the thing, Sealyfay. These runners aren't actually equipped to fight anything in the Sea Shrine. Wab is relying upon that thief the entire way, and there's our canoe. Hypes Nova can get into the air.
I'm not real sure what to think about Wab's judgment at this point, because the deeper he goes, the riskier it gets for him.
Well, he's gonna warp out.
I mean, even still, one bad unrunnable encounter, and he's in deep trouble.
Although, maybe he's gonna rely upon the defense sword and a sun sword to kill Kraken. I mean, that's a gamble. And there's the Thor hammer that I was just talking about. or that Sonny was talking about.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that Ruby was the better play at this point before going into Sea Shrine. Even though there was some decent stuff in Sea Shrine, that Thor's going to help out a lot more.
Oh, gets the initiative on this. He's going to actually take it. I'm kind of surprised he's taking this. But I guess experience is experience at this point. And he's going to warp out, so he's got to do Earth now. And he counted just perfectly. Wab is able to warp completely out of Sea Shrine. Both runners have gone into their respective fiend dungeons and warped out. Nobody has killed any of the fiends. Hypes paid off. Got to the chest just before the vampire. Found the loose adamant that led to the ruby, which led to a canoe and a Thor's hammer. So a progression lead for Hypes. Wab, on the other hand, found a defense sword that Hypes is not going to find. That was on Mermaid's side. There's no way Hypes is going Mermaid's side.
Well, they do have the slab, so once they get into the air, that's another check they can make, and that might lead to something good.
Interesting parking job by Hypes. Looks like he went... Oh. I don't know where... Yeah, he went from the sea... Okay. I don't know, Felk. I don't know. He's playing loose. Alright, so Wab's gonna make the play down. He already knows by his early... So, I just want to let everybody know here. Wab was here already. He wiped out and left. He had already cleared out most of this Earth Floor 1 already, and some of Earth Floor 2 before trolls kept killing him. So, Wab was actually in a good area, or had a good bead on where that chest was. That loose chest, but he left early.
Yeah, this seems like a reasonable explanation as to why Hypes is taking some weird routing options. He's still shaken up after the emulator crash he had earlier.
No, Felk, he's loose, but not too loose. That's right. He's playing just loose enough where he's got the early advantage so far. Oh, he's gonna do the Earth play. Interesting. Okay, so Hypes is gonna do Ice Cave. We have Warp. We can just leave right away. Now the downside is we don't... I mean, we have the Sun Sword. We know Temper and Fast are high level. He might completely skip Ice Cave knowing that no loose is available. It's interesting. That means we're going to be relying on a power bonk that we may or may have to actually go search for in dungeons that we don't need to do.
That's kind of a scary proposition, feeling like Power Bonk is a required item. There's Wab's Adamant, so at least there's that.
Oh, I like this play by Wab. Okay. So, interesting here. Hypes found that Adamant, instantly warped out. Wab is going to try and make the play to defeat Lich. I like this call. He has the Sun Sword just like Hypes, which does well against Lich. I'm kind of surprised Hypes left, but I understand it. I mean, there's plenty of chests on the way to Lich 2, and let's say Web finds something that can help him, like a Masa or Xcal or something like that. If we find the tail, another advantage for Web. I mean, we already have the defense sword for Web, so he's got something post a promotion right now.
Hype's found his chime in Ice Cave, but burned a good 3 warps to get there, and a black shirt. That was some really weird routing to get to that, because he could have just used 1 warp.
Well, yeah, but he's trying not to encounter. So by doing that, he's not taking any encounter steps. And Web, unfortunately, ran into something that really punished him. I didn't see it. Silver armor that can go on our red mage. Nothing overly fantastic. So far, not paying out this play. But if Web is able to do it, that means 1 less location we have to go later on for Web. If we can get away with this, we don't have to redive Earth. Saves time. Considering how close our runners are, I keep interrupting you, Sonny. I hear you. You want to say something? Uh-oh.
I really do. I just saw Hypes learn how to speak Lupa Lupa.
Good news for Hypes? Well, not anymore good news. He was above the 300 threshold. Then one of the Gerwolves said, "Here, eat up fire too." Then Hypes' fighter got quad X'd. That was some teamwork by those Gerwolves to take down that fighter. Not very nice at all.
So we didn't add a new feature where people could invade as random encounters, right? Because that seemed planned.
The Zozo Melman? No, it's not on here. Alright. This could be a potential time save. It saves, 4 to 5 minutes in go mode for Web here by being able to do Lich this early. Fire 3, weakness, 280, nice swing, or nice hit. Followed up by a Sun Sword for 162. Lich is about the vanilla HP. Lich is going to try and be Mike Tyson and punch down Web. Let's see who's going to win here. Silver Sword, 2 hits, 2 damage. Lock comes out. Fire 3 should end this. No, 112 hit low. The hold. Lich knows who is about to kill him. Stops the fighter. Quad X won't work. Resist death. Another lock comes out. Easy to hit. Silver dagger strats. Fire 3, 150. This is a chunky Lich. Lich says you will not defeat me. We're giving Lich time to cast spells. This is not good. Fire 2 comes out. This is going to be devastating. Another silver dagger for 2 hits, 2 damage. The thief showing those thief fixes were working.
This is the first time I've seen Lich really put up any kind of fight instead of just being a doormat.
And first orb lit saves a little bit of time. Unfortunately, because of how the Lich fight went, might not have saved as much time as it could have been, because Lich was high enough HP. But either way, doesn't have to redive.
Meanwhile, over on Hype's side, he decided to visit the Charizards and found himself a ribbon. It looked like he also found a pro ring, but I'm not super sure if that was a pro ring or a pro cape.
And Trenton has joined in chat and says level 12, not, it definitely makes Lich a little challenging. And it's very true, especially when, he holds your fighter that's got a Sun Sword.
Hype's making a trip into Ordeals. I think I like that.
Ordeals, it's a good call. The good fights here. there's good fights here. I don't believe there's any trolls, so...
Except for the pillars themselves, plenty of trolls there.
I mean, like, so the ideal is, if we can in this dive for hypes, is run into either zombies, mummies. No, mummies actually were kind of dangerous, if I remember correctly.
Mummies had cremate, so they're a little bit of a hazard.
So zombie Ds could potentially be very good to run into. Another good thing to run into is Medusas, because generally Medusas run low HP. Or low enough.
Those zombie Ds went down pretty easily to the fire spell, so I think those are kind of what I'd want to see if I were hypes. And there's some troll.
And with that Thor Hammer available, a lot of these fights can be done. And as Phil Connick was able to answer for the question in chat for Football 916, we have open progression, not extended open. So the floater to get airship requires a canoe because you have to get in through the river system.
Hype's finding a white shirt. That seems like it'd be extremely useful. And a key.
I think he's already... Wait. Wasn't there a chime found?
You know, I'm reasonably sure there was. I believe Chime was in Ice Cave.
Yeah, Chime was Ice Cave. That's Go mode. Hypes is in official Go mode right now.
Even if you're in Go mode, do you really want to go that fast? There's a lot of useful equipment hanging out there.
Yeah, so Hypes is in Go mode because, yeah, Chime was in there. So technically you are in Go mode. I mean, obviously we don't have the spells, but I'm saying is he can go. Kurant is now following Wab. And Hype's is gonna make the play. Turn in this. I think he's hoping for Power Bong for sure. Or Tail. Tail would be probably the best thing we can find right now.
I would definitely take a Tail. That's something I'm really hoping to see right now.
The good news is, okay, so the bottle still keeps you in the area. Oh, Hypes didn't buy Lit 3 level 5 magic at all.
Did Hypes even visit the magic shops there in Loopland?
No, I mean, level 8 magic is really tough, even for a black mage, because they can't learn anything until level 25. Or can't get any spell charges until level 25. Cake? Oh, come on, Hypes, you gotta pick up the cake! Oh, I'm gonna teach him the ways of the cake. Wab's in the air, over in Crescent, getting a bunch of camping equipment, healing potions, dungeon equipment, gold bracelets.
So I saw level 7 lamp there. Final Fantasy is really, really vague on what these spells do. What is lamp exactly?
Lamp. Well, there's the power bong from a tiny fairy, so that's nice to find. So what does lamp do? It basically counters mid-darkness.
Okay, so it's eye drops.
Yeah, I mean that's essentially all it is. Is it just lights up your world, helps to prevent the darkness from lowering your accuracy, and a small bit of evade, the penalty you take. Groggy, he did Lefane and it was the power bonk. So he's still checking chest. He doesn't feel comfortable with a sun sword. He knows that Sky is incentive. So this could lead to the tail, which could be great news. He doesn't really have a weapon after promotion like Wab does. Wab has a defense sword, so post-promotion, Wab has the advantage with a defense sword. The Sun Sword can work. I'm not saying it can't. But with Fast and Temper being potentially high-level spells at this moment, it looks like it's going to be level 7 or level 8. It's going to be rough. And Hypes didn't save. Wasn't able to take that mummy fight.
With mummies having cremate, I wouldn't want to either.
Yes, it cures blindness. I just say dark because that's literally what the status says on it. So there's our whiz mummies and mummies. Since now we've got spell charges to be able to do this. And that's a tasty spike tile to find too, by the way. 5 whiz mummies, always nice to find. Especially this early when all of our light warriors are kind of need that experience right now.
Yeah, I mean, if you can do it without getting turned to ash, that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, as Itrin says, it impacts it. It's not as much. We've seen it do some work at earlier levels. I believe Thunder and somebody else was doing a match where a carry fight was basically very hard because of the darkness.
Oh, so Wab is hanging out in the Volcano Treasury, finding a Pro Cape. That's probably going to be a little bit useful, right?
A Pro Cape, best shield slot that a caster can have. Our casters can actually have a shield slot. It's a cape.
Well, both of his casters now have a Pro Cape, so that's good news for him.
So, this is good for Hypes. We're not running into a lot of sentries. We're running into a lot of stuff, or we were. And before this fight, we were running into a lot of things that were weak to fire spells, which is good. Because he didn't go to level 5. He didn't pick up the Lit 3 that was available. So I think this dive is going to be another go in, get the incentive. Ooh, slimes. We have spells for that. And Wab's trying to light us another orb. He's doing a dungeon, a non-incentive dungeon, but something that we have to do since we already have all the loose. And he's going to try and light another orb here. He's already got a 1 orb advantage. Where Hypes left Earth, Wab went and defeated Lich. So, one less place that he's got to go here. Felk pointing out that that was a spike tile that I didn't realize, but I think he might come back to it, Felconic. I think he wants that incentive just in case if it is the tail. If tail's here, you promote, you come back, and then you'll have a bunch of life casts on your fighter.
Yeah, I think tail is it's either tail or Masamune that I would really be hoping to see out of any chest at this point.
Heck, even a ribbon at this point. Opal
but it's
bracelet.
an Opal Cheerio.
An Opal Cheerio. Womp womp. And Hype's playing loose here. Doesn't equip the flame shield on his fighter. Hypes, equip the flame shield, please. Equip that iron gauntlet. There you go. I mean, that's going to be an interesting case here. Okay, well.
Still not equipping that flame shield.
Says, I'm not going to equip that. Oh, he's going to take that fight. Oh, he's got to walk out. He doesn't have enough. Yep, but on the right-hand side, if you weren't paying attention, and just like me, carry fight. Wab going for his second orb. 3 hits, 340 or 141 by carry. We're casting Invis 2s. We're getting our evades up. We're swinging with that Sun Sword. Maybe some Fog 2? No, more Invis 2. We're raising our evasion. Apparently we're going to need it. That carry. Oh, 62 damage. Wab has defeated carry. Lights his second orb.
Orb.
Big lead. Orb. Big advantage for Wab so far.
Hype's going to visit Waterfall. That's an interesting choice.
Perilous with Fog 2. Talk about a time waster right there. Oh boy. And unfortunately, Fire 3 doesn't do the great against Perilisks. Oh my gosh, these Fog 2s are insane. Such a large pack of enemies that cast a self-buffing thing that does nothing.
You know, it could still be worse. It could be thrown out like Heal 3. Make that fight last 999 years. Unrunnable Gas Dragon. That's... I don't know if that's good or bad.
I mean, it's good experience-wise. Wab's going down to Lefane. That gives the bottle. The fairy gives the bonk. Something Wab will be happy to find. Without Masa, we kind of need a bonk. When I mean bonk, I mean the power gauntlet that casts Saber when used.
Insert an obligatory Power Glove joke here.
More time wasters on Hype's Nova side. Thankfully, we get turn order. He's halfway through. A little more than halfway through, so that's good news for Hype's. Almost out of here. Now it's going to be interesting here. I'm assuming Wab is going to do Bottle Turn In into Sky. He's level 14, so technically if he can do it without taking any levels, it's good for him. But with those slimes, metal slimes that are available so early, I highly doubt it. And there's a big debate. Do you go for tail or do you not? You know where it's at. It's a little out of the way. And for Hypes, I mean, we don't have a promotion weapon. It's a little awkward. And as Trenton says, very good point. He could get bailed out with a Masa here.
If it was me, and I'm not the one known for making the best life choices in video games, I would definitely go for that tail. I would also definitely heal up those fighters because it's not a position you want to leave those in.
I mean, he took a gamble, didn't want to heal. He knew he was close to exiting out. Unfortunately, he's being punished for it. Wes and Voop finally able to get him out of here.
Or maybe he actually wanted him to go down so he gets full heal with life too.
I mean, it's definitely the cheaper option. I get it. But once again, guys, we don't know what that spike tile is.
I see a hair accessory and a tail.
I mean, that's a... Oh, Okay, so we gotta make it out of here without running into anything with anything dangerous. The good news is we have a ribbon on that red mage. Heel Helm is on the ground now. Yep. Alright, so Wab is making his way go moding. Looks like he's going to get that incentivized location in Sky, just like what Hypes did.
Which we know is a Noble Cheerio, so probably not the most worthwhile thing to do, but he doesn't know that.
It'll be interesting to see what Wab does, though. Does he continue forward to try and take on Tiamat? Or does he exit out Twitch being overworked here, slowing down, unfortunately.
Even websites have lazy Saturday mornings, right?
That's right. It's waking up, it hasn't smelt the coffee or drank its coffee yet. But while we got a little stop in the action, while we got some menuing and killing of metal slimes, we've got a whole night of action, or a whole day of action of Final Fantasy Randomizer for anybody out there. Over on SG3, that's coming up actually in about 13 minutes. Courant versus Sketchy Metal. We also have at 11 o'clock on Randomania 1, Ikbin Maya versus Leggy Starscream. At 12 o'clock, high noon, Falconic himself in chat up against Avos Ruin. 2 o'clock, Gulf versus Magius. That'll be on SG6, looks like. And the Falconic Avos one will be on SG2. Right after Falconic's match, hopefully I'll be able to follow suit on that one to do well. It is myself, Dangwu, up against the mighty Spell Zap that's going to suffer a crushing defeat to me.
Oh, wait a minute. You're playing later?
Oh, yeah. I'm taking on Spell Zap. I'm going to crush him.
Oh, I gotta sign on to calm that one.
Please don't. It's going to be awful. Alright, so unless I missed it, because I appreciate that, Darren Joyce. As I was reading this off, I missed it. What happened to Wab? Did he wipe in there, or did he get the Opal Cheerio and exit out?
Unfortunately, I didn't quite catch it, but one way or the other, I'm not sure I'm too upset. The Opal Cheerio doesn't seem to get a whole lot of love.
Well, yeah, but did he exit out, or did he... Oh, there's a katana. Fine, we can't use it. Wab could.
Oh, let's see. I've lost count. How many dwarf visits was that?
Way too many.
With that, I think that was 3. I don't think they visited without an item, so I believe our final count for dwarf visits is going to be 3.
I mean, if our runners were, talking to the Hooray Dwarf, it's perfectly acceptable to check it as many times as you want. But if you're going to ignore the Hooray Dwarf, crab cakes will curse your run. I'm just saying. And we've got a 2-party grind going on here on the right-hand side for Web. That's an interesting question by Simple Sarah. If you're going to promote, why did you not pick up the life spells on your knight? Maybe forgot. Maybe just realized that there. Nope, he's going to get his spell charges. He doesn't have houses. He's playing loose. The man that plays loose, but not too loose. I think that loose meter has gone exceptionally high right now. You need to calm down there, Hypes.
You know, I just can't imagine he's in the best mindset after the crash earlier. That's gotta be affecting his decision making.
Alright, so the key... Where was the key again? Key was Ordeals. So Wab is an Ordeals away from Go mode. So Wab might accidentally go to Waterfall. No, he won't do Waterfall. Yeah, he will, because he still has to do Kraken, so Waterfall could be in the books. Though more than likely he'll do Ordeals after doing the floating castle. And for Hypes here, he's kind of spinning his tires here. He got what he wanted in the tail, but he hasn't been doing much with it. He might be relying on the Sun Sword. I'm not a big fan of the Sun Sword, but, you know, you can make it work. At least we had the promotion. We'll have access to Tempers and Fast on the Black Mage for sure. And we have the Power Bonk. Definitely possible. Obviously, we would like to have a Defense Sword to go with that Power Bonk.
We also haven't seen hide nor hair of Masa or Excal, so those are still options.
I mean, they are. I just don't know how many chests our runners are going to check. And you are bringing up a good point. They are definitely on the thing or as an option. I don't know how many more chests our runners are going to check.
Judging by what Hypes is doing, all the chests.
And the more he checks, I mean, I don't blame him on this one. Especially in Volcano, the checks are definitely quick to do or easy to do. Because with all the lava tiles, obviously, we're not going to take as many encounters.
Wab took a brief moment to play a little song on the lute.
He just wanted to play the little guitar.
I mean, sometimes that's all you need. You just need to lift your spirits with the little bard song, right? Remind me when the bard class ended up getting introduced to Final Fantasy. Was it right here?
Yeah, it really was. That's actually how they got their idea to make a bard class, was the loot item. And Carrie's been turned into a recycle bin. Fast comes out, goes on Emma. Emma swings that sweet fire sword for 253. Power bonk on the other knight. Fast on that one too, so we're going to swing with both of our fighters, followed by a wait. 84 damage, down goes Carrie. Well, that was easy.
Well, we already knew Carrie was just a cardboard cutout.
Hype's telling all the viewers in chat, relax, I got this. But right hand side, we're on the Bridge of Destiny. You know what that is time for, folks. Bless RNGs in chat. Let's see if we get our robot chicken.
Oh, that's a good question. Did Hypes get a weapon? I know I saw him get a katana, but can knights use a katana?
He's got a... No, knights can't. Only ninjas can use a katana. Just like an Excal, only a knight can use. So no war mech here. No extra experience for Wab at this point. Gained a bunch of experience and grinded those metal slimes. So even after promotion, we're not going to have a whole lot of charges on that fighter. Interesting call. Hypes on the left-hand side, though, has done the promotion early, can gain those spell charges, but hasn't bought the life spells that are available to that night, which is Life 1 and Life 2. Hopefully he doesn't forget, but we'll have to see. There's really nothing in Earth Cave here. He's already checked everything up to the volcano, or the vampire for hypes. Quad X hits. Wab has lit his third orb.
That Tiamat just basically seemed like a punching bag, just not doing a whole lot. This kind of makes me scared for Topher, to be perfectly honest with you.
Topher is going to be an interesting call. Okay, so for Wab, what are you going to do, Wab? Okay, he's going Waterfall. Interesting. He bypasses Ordeals, which was in the area, and goes to Waterfall. So, well, he's going to get his Quad X, or I mean his tail. So that's at least good.
Running into some more stall discs.
Good news is black shirt ice spells do generally pretty well against Perilous, so Quad X on the gas deed. Unfortunately, don't get the cheeky erase. Alright, Hypes is back. He's doing the stuff that Wab has done. He left early for Hypes. After getting that loose adamant, he said, "See you later, Earth." Wab, on the other hand, went through, finished it out, had a monster battle against Lich.
This gas dragon giving Wab just a little bit of difficulty, it looks like.
I mean, gas dragons have a bit of health. Good news is they're also worth a lot of experience. So that's at least a good thing. And I believe there's a katana here. No.
This is where you get the tail, and there was a ribbon in here. The katana came from the dwarves' armory.
Yes, that's where it was. There was a ribbon here. Okay. It definitely does sound a little bit different to Hypes' audio right now. It's kind of weird. Alright, so for anybody that's out there, we still haven't found Temper Fast. This might be it. No, Zap and Blind. Oh boy. This is level 8 Temper and... Oh yeah, you're right. They do have Fast early on. Thank you. I just haven't seen them cast it in a long time. Good point.
I personally haven't seen Fade, but that's not really on the table anymore, is it?
The Microsoft... Ooh, Lich had Thunder. That could have been dangerous for Wab when Wab was taking it on. Oh my, but 2 swings by the Fire Sword. And Hypes Nova lights a second orb, only 1 orb behind Wab. That lead has shrunk substantially.
Given that Wab doesn't even have his key yet, I'm not sure he's got much of a lead at all.
Lobsters with Squint.
It looks good kill. Oh wait, they can.
That was Internet Explorer, Windows 95 Internet Explorer on Lich. So terrifying. So both runners are going to do it here. Wab is 1 orb away from being... Oh, well, no, he's got to do ordeals. So he's going to kill the fiends. He's happy with the defense sword or the sun sword, depending on if he decides to promote. He can go either way. We don't have the Vorpal, so it's not the greatest of options, but...
You don't think he could go all the way to Topher and not realize he doesn't have a key, do you?
It can happen. Philip says something... Oh. Yeah, the tile in front of a door is a free movement. And Kraken, right-hand side, we're going to see what the Kraken has in store for us today. We've got some nukes in. We've got a 9-hit Kraken smacking, but it's not smacking very hard. More nukes. Trying to make some, I don't know, microwave sushi. Swing by the fighter, 4 hits 100. Are we going to get away with this Quad X? Could potentially, if it rolled low. It did. Erased. 4th orb for Wab.
That Kraken was lacking. He wasn't packing a smacking.
No, it wasn't. That was a relatively easy Kraken. So Wab's gonna do the free checks in Cardia now. He's basically 1 dungeon, 1 floating castle, a go mode dungeon ahead.
If memory serves, those Charizards did have a ribbon somewhere amongst their horde.
With the which ones? I'm sorry.
Somewhere in these Charizard caves, there was a ribbon, I believe. Unless I'm thinking of the previous seed, which is entirely possible at this point.
It might have. Although, oh, we're being told in chat, because you guys are also our trackers, there is another ribbon in the Forest Cardia. We're about to find out, Football. I would assume he knows he doesn't have it, because he go-moded everything, but it's also possible to completely forget about ordeals too, at this point. And, nope, he's going to ordeals.
He's not going to get that ribbon. That's unfortunate.
No. I mean, that is very unfortunate. Anger Tiamat, so that was level 5 fast. That's right, because that was the promotion locked fast. So
that's why we forgot they had him.
Yeah, I knew Lit 3 was there, but that makes sense. Alright, Kraken. Nice swing so far by our Knights on the left-hand side for Hype's Nova. Kraken should almost actually be dead. I would have thought maybe to toss out that Quad X, but it doesn't matter because we get great turn order. See you later, Kraken. Hypes has 3 orbs lit. One go mode. The go moded Sky Palace, or Sky Cave if you want to call it, or Floating Castle away from catching up to Wab. I know I called it like 4 different things, but you know.
That's another thing to call it. I call it Sky Tower.
No, I mean, that works too. Uh-oh, trolls. They've got Blaze. But we run from them. We show them the the proper technique all light warriors have. Run away.
They believe you ran away.
Listen, Simple Sarah, sometimes you just gotta buy lots and lots of houses. Even if you don't need them. Just buy them, why not?
I understand that the real estate market on Gaia is incredibly good right now. Buying houses is a smart move.
See? Or you could be like Web and, now you gotta make the walk of shame all the way back to your airship without saving.
Also, when you're swinging around weapons of incredible power and slinging spells that could bring the very titans of evil to their knees, nobody's going to argue when you decide you want a house. But Ragnarok, the katana was actually in the dwarves' armory.
Yeah, so unfortunately that ninja is not going to be brought back up. It'll be interesting. Oh, Mute comes out from Saber. This is actually a terrifying run away for Wab right here.
Yeah, that was a little bit scary. Mutant, the one who's throwing out all the big damage.
Alright, so one thing to look out here on the left-hand side. Hypes and purposely forgo these to get the tail. Wanted to get the tail to get these levels. Will he take a lot of fights here? Or is he just going to go right through and maybe check some chests in the sky floor? Nope, he's going to take fights.
I don't hate it. I really don't. I mean, we know that in terms of orbs he's behind, but I feel like he does kind of need the levels.
So, just for informational purposes, since they both have the Sun Sword has 4 hits at level 20, and it doesn't gain its 5th hit until 31. Now, Wab on the right-hand side has a defense sword, so he could technically get a 5th hit at 29. So the defense sword has a little bit better hit on it, so we can hit that 5th breakpoint a little earlier, but getting to 29 is probably a little excessive. But something to kind of... I mean, we don't have tempers. I mean, this is one of the one of the things that we gotta watch out for is, as much as I know, we don't have any tempers. It's level 8, either in Lefane, because we didn't check it, or it's in Gaia, because we didn't check it. That Black Mage has to be level 25 to be able to cast Temper. We're not going to have a whole lot of charges of it. So that means we're relying upon a Power Bonk, a subpar weapon, a Sun Sword, or a defense, and we're going to have to go through the spell lists of all the fiends. This is going to be dangerous, and because he only bought 1 heal potion, or 1/10, his heal potions are actually offset on website.
This is just a little bit scary.
It is, because we're going through some deep, potentially deep spell lists on each of these fiends. Potentially. If Lich rolls High Absorb, ironically, if Lich rolls High Absorb, we could be going through Lich's spell pool. Carry could also be annoying,
When is carry not annoying, though? Except for that first time.
Carry's not too bad, generally. Like, she can be annoying, but because of her low base HP value of 700, it's manageable normally. The validation checks by Wab here. Wooden armor, nothing important. Did Hypes ever find a big weapon? No, he's still rocking the Sun Sword.
I don't think we found any big weapons except the katana, which Hypes can't even use and Wab didn't go get.
You know, I just realized too, for anybody out there, did we ever see Wab buy life spells for his fighter? I don't think I've seen either of our runners buy life spells. So it's both accessible, but nobody decided to buy the life spells on a character that's basically going to prevent us from wiping. And you can see here, Hypes is still checking these chests that have pretty good... oh, there's an Aegis shield.
I would take that and run.
And that's a very good point there, Simple Sarah. Yeah, Wab definitely promoted really late, so he probably won't have any spell charges anyways. So, Wab officially entered Temple of Fiends Revisited at 1:28, 1 hour, 28 minutes, and 10 seconds. He's on the earth floor, making decent time. So about 2 minutes to make it here. About to take on Lich 2, potentially dangerous Lich 2. Hopefully not real Absorb happy. We don't have a whole lot of things to kill it. We're going to cast Nuke and fire 3 on Lich here. We're going to give the respect to Lich and actually use a Nuke charge. Big shot of 103. Tornado, non-elemental damages, ravages Wab's party. We are now in Nuke range on all characters. Fire 3 by Wab shoots out 96. Slow 2 hits the Thief. That's good to know that it's out of the pool. Did you notice the damage on that fighter only did 61 damage? Decent absorb on that Lich. We are through to Lich 2 though, thankfully.
Lich has actually been remarkably resilient. Also, Hype's going across the Bridge of Destiny, almost making it across without an encounter.
I mean, I am not overly thrilled with this party layout. It's going to be rough. Wab's going to be relying upon the defense, the power bonk on that night. And we don't have access to life. This is going to be really strange. And on the left-hand side, we have made it through the Bridge of Destiny, didn't find our Warmac chicken, but we're taking on Microsoft Notepad. No, that is Tiamat. So, carry 2, right-hand side, very important here. Leaves off with Ice 2, going to do some chip damage. Left-hand side, Tiamat's kind of playing, not doing a whole lot here. 8 hits for 412 by Nova. Right-hand side, we're still trying to do some damage to carry, but we're not able to punch through that armor. Still casting white shirts, Invis 2s, trying to prevent carry's attack, which means we're going to get into the spell list here. We're going to see what carry has.
Ice 2 and Lit 2 from Carry, looking like it might not be that threatening, but it could just be a lead up to a nuclear.
Right-hand side, yeah. The defense sword doing 4 hits for 196, so, you know, respectable damage, considering we haven't really fasted. Actually, I think it was fasted, but evasive.
Cheeky Quad X at a Wab's Black Mage, not doing anything.
I mean, I would definitely recommend doing it. Left-hand side, buying spells. Gonna buy Invis. Maybe purchase that life spells that we know that's in level 1 and level 3 magic.
Yeah, speaking of Quad X, looks like Carrie tried the Quad X, but did it on the only party member who was not going to be in the HP range for it, but Carrie did go down.
Nice, slow, consistent battle by Wab there. kept the pressure up, kept attacking, kept up his, evasion stacks, not letting Carrie breathe. But like I said, we're going to get into these, a lot of spell. You've seen it there in that battle against Carrie too. Casted 5-6 rounds worth of spells almost, plus an attack. That is dangerous. We've only seen a swirl. But Pipes is going to enter Temple of Fiends also. He's not as well equipped compared to Wab. He does not have the defense sword. He doesn't have that one night against the world potential that Wab does. But he should have spell charges on that night. Water's ravaging the party. Oh no. He's still walking though.
Now we get to find out if that knight has any life charges at all, if it even knows life.
The waters have death touch. We've just been told. I looked away, watching to see what Hypes was doing on the left-hand side. So apparently waters with death touch ravage Wab's party. Gonna put that ribbon on his knight, because we're basically going to rely upon that knight to do all the work here. Hypes is already on the earth floor. They're as sorry as they're... Ooh, we get away from the waters. Whew. And Wab is going to sacrifice the Black Mage for the greater good. Wow. Oh! Kraken says, I'm not having your peace offering or your sacrificial offering. Goes after the knight. The knight's down to 43. This is awful turn order. Awful everything. Swirl, non-elemental, wipes him out. Wab has to reset. Hypes has the lead now.
Such as it is, but if Wab had that much issue, I can't see Hypes doing much better.
No. Well, okay, so the only difference is Hypes has the life spell and charges on 2 knights, right? So he can use that knight, one of those knights, as a sacrificial lamb and still raise them up again, right? So it's an interesting situation. So instead of dragon armor there in Topher locked, or Temple of Fiends locked. But yeah, as Trenton said, a big sword here would give a big advantage, I think, because it's just too slow to rely upon a power bonk when you have no tempers right now. And I mean, the defense sword and the sun sword, they can work. I just don't feel comfortable when we don't have a lot of temper charges or anything to, boost up their damage quickly. But we're going to have a Fire Sword, 8 hits for 253. Lich attacks. This is good news for Hypes here. That means Swirl hasn't been used yet. And we're able to essentially 1 to 2 turn Lich 2. Don't take that non-elemental damage. So, good start for Hypes Nova here.
And now Wab has exited the Temple of Fiends. Looking like he's stocking up on some items, maybe making that iteming a little bit easier.
Oh, cheeky check here by Hypes here. Falconic, you see that? Oh, he didn't check it all, though. I thought maybe he was going to check the other carry 2 chests. Only checks the 1. That's right, Falconic. Doing the check. I like it. I'm surprised he didn't check the other one, though. Carry swings 5 hits for 200 on Emma, the knight on the left-hand side. Carrie's coming out big. Ooh, big swing by Nova. Carrie's getting close there. We might be close to getting rid of Carrie here. Quad X might do it. No, he's going to wait on everybody. But a big shot. 405. On that Sun Sword finishes off Carrie too. The bin has been emptied. See you later, Carrie. And Wab has re-entered finally. Going to try and try to catch up to Hypes that is in a lead now. Wab had the lead earlier, ran into unrunnable waters with Death Touch. Hypes Nova runs into it, gets first strike, and runs. Okay, there's potential of at least 1 to 2 more waters he may run into here. I believe if he's in the same encounter thing, or in the encounter cycle, or encounter table, yep, there's another water. This is the one that hurt Wab. And then he'll run into 1 more waters, I believe. More waters, they have Death Touch. Hypes doesn't know about it, but escapes. Oh, we got more water. This is worse than I thought. Oh, there goes Emma. Thankfully, we are running very, very fast. Wab, right-hand side. He's trying to catch up here, doing everything he can. He is on the earth floor. He's 2 floors behind. So, we know Kraken hits strong. These knights could potentially be in trouble.
The Kraken is also the one with Swirl, which I believe is what did Wab in.
It definitely was. The big 8-slap Kraken punch hurt the most. Kraken goes easy on Hypes with a Fire 2 chip damage. Allows Hypes to raise that evasion. Maybe a false sense of security. We know Kraken 2 has Tornado. Lich 2 has Swirl. Both non-elementals. Power Bonk. Emma with more evasion stacks. More evasion stacks. We're looking pretty good against a Kraken smacking, but Kraken still does 264 damage on that top knight. Sun Sword, 8 hits for 708. Kraken comes back with 288 on a very evasive knight. We have to do heal potion strats. Do the quad axe, there you go.
On the right side of the screen, Wab has finished off the Lich and is now moving on to Carry. Hopefully, he actually makes it there with his party intact.
And Hypes, able to take on Kraken, keeps the 2-floor advantage. Actually, about 1.5 floor advantage over Wab. Wab's still trying to catch up. Knows that Carry doesn't have too much. Doesn't hit real hard, doesn't have a whole lot. Uses the last nuke cast already.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Uh-oh. Who's a fan of Team Edward? They are on the left-hand side. They are trying to stop Hypes over here. Uh-oh. We finally run. Whew. Okay. We're running out of heal potions, though. If Tiamat has some non-elemental, like Nuke and Nuclear, we could be in trouble here going into Chaos. Lit 2 by Carry, right-hand side. We're still trying to battle through with a defense sword. Fight, fight. Ice 3. More black shirt. Notepad, please, on the left-hand side. No, I'm just kidding. It's Tiamat 2 on the left-hand side. White shirt. We're going to raise our evasion. We're going to fast up our Sun Sword wielding knight. Carry's already destroyed the poor ninja on the right-hand side. Wab's down to 3. More evasions on the left-hand side for Hypes. Right. Carry goes down. Wab is slowly catching up. But Wab still has to get through all of these dangerous water elementals. They have Death Touch. This is a death trap floor, essentially. Tiamat not really doing much, kind of sitting there getting punched. But, oh wow, 27 damage on that Sun Sword is not something you want to see. You're going to need a lot more power bunks here, Hypes. You're going to have to hope that Tiamat does not have spells. It's going to take a lot to get through that absorb. Tiamat was zapped. This is deadly. Oh, we resisted all.
Or maybe Zap's not so deadly.
No. I mean, the black shirt saved the black mage. And everybody else, we had at least 1 or 2 ribbons, so yeah, we were able to resist it.
This is a very, very durable Tiamat, too.
We don't have the Crit Master. There is no Vorpal. We're relying upon a Sun Sword and a Fire Sword to do this. Ice 3 comes out. That's going to hurt a little bit.
This might be just the delay that Wab needs to really catch up, but then Wab has to go through the exact same thing.
It really does. It really does. And unfortunately, the Black Mage is down. We do have life charges, though. Each of those fighters has life on them. As long as one of them survives, Hypes does not wipe. Wab, pulling Kraken 2. If Kraken 2 gets good initiative... Well, there goes Tiamat 2, so Hypes has got to save or heal and get himself set up. Good turn order on Kraken 2, right-hand side. Wab, one floor behind. We got all our evasive spells casted. This is good for Wab. Way better than the last time he wiped. Fire 2, chip damage. That's not going to do much. Hypes, healing up. Almost out of heal potions. Still has to get through the rest of the sky floor. Makes it through. No encounters. Gonna reorganize his party. Get himself set up to take on Chaos for the win. We gotta get through this Kraken. We gotta get through that tanky Tiamat on Wab's side, on the right-hand side.
And Hypes engages with Clippy. Wait, that's not Clippy. That's Chaos.
Hi, I'm Clippy. Do you need help? So, big swing by the Fire Sword. 3 hits, 3 damage. Proven once again that... Ooh, Kraken just fasted itself. Uh-oh.
That is the stuff nightmares are made of.
That so is. Wab, better watch out. Kraken is going to be smacking very quickly here. Clippy, or Cat, no, I'm just kidding. It's Chaos. Cast Ice 2. More chip damage. We haven't seen any nuke and nuclears here. This could be dangerous for Hypes. Could lull him into a sense of security. I mean, we have not seen any of them. He's got to watch out for it. He doesn't have any heal potions. I don't think he's got any heal spells. Kraken.
I'm reasonably sure what he's got is what he's got right now. The resources he has on display is it.
Still battling it out on Kraken 2 on the right-hand side. We got to get through this. We got to catch up. Fire 3 ravages Hypes Novas. Thankfully, we have enough resistances. Big shot by the Sun Sword. 719. We're slowly chipping away at this Chaos. Kraken 2 slowing up Wab. We don't have the offensive might that we normally would have. Stun comes out. Unfortunately, he resists the status elements. Big swing, 7 hits for 178 by Hypes on the left-hand side. He's still battling it out. Hasn't done a whole lot. Oh, Kraken did a cure 4? Oh boy, we missed it. That is not good.
I hate seeing any of the last 3 bosses with cure spells.
Hypes Nova still swinging well on the left-hand side. 4 hits for 302. We're getting close to the original value HP of Chaos here. Waits, and swings. 8 hits, 904 with a couple crits. GG to Hypes Nova. Official SRL time of 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 21 seconds. Bad turn order in the bad turn order against Kraken 2 with a swing. Demolished Wab's first dive into Topher. Second dive, Cure waited too long, couldn't do enough damage, and took a lot of time. So Kraken 2 really annoyed the Wab there. And, well, walking in here, Zap comes out on Tiamat, misses everybody also, so Zap not really useful by Tiamat at all. Hypes, GG, well played. How you feeling? He is so exhausted right now, he doesn't even know what to say. That's what happens when you take on the power of Clippy.
Mike's been muted. I had to step away a couple times. Sucks that my emulator crashed.
Crack comes out by Tiamat. Oh no. This is the downside when you take too many fights. You go up against these spells.
That seems like you might have dodged a bullet there, Hypes, with Tiamat having Crack and you never seeing.
I saw a zap, and that was enough.
That really was. It was a good thing you had that black shirt equipped on that black mage. You had, I believe, 1 or 2 ribbons.
Yeah, 2. So it was really only one ineffective that I got lucky on, and I think that was the top slot fighter. Ooh.
Webs. Oh, there's one of our nukes, and Web is forced to reset, and he forfeits. I don't blame him on this one at all. Everybody, please give a GG out to Web. He deserves it. I hope he's okay. Well played by him. But our winner here, Hypes. That seed was interesting because magic was, well, early magic. You were basically could go to Sea Shrine with Fire 3, or you could go to Earth, and you chose the Earth route, which ended up paying out. Was there any chance of you actually going to complete Earth? Or were you just like, if I find the loose here, I'm exiting, which is what you ended up doing? But was there any chance of you actually going through and beating Lich?
I wanted to, but I couldn't afford heal potions. I had around 160 HP by the time I found the Adamant, so I didn't finish it. Thankfully, I didn't, because there was Thunder on Lich first turn, so I probably would have wiped to that.
That seems like a good life choice.
I mean, so I'm trying to think of all these things. I'm sure you're probably going to get a couple messages from Falconic. You know, he was rooting on you for the whole time, but he yelled out some stuff. He's like, "Hypes, you're being too loose. You know, you got to remember this stuff." It was kind of funny.
I wanted to. Well, I found 2 loose. So I was like, all right, let's go. And then I didn't find like a good sword. I mean, Sun Sword can carry you, but it took me like 6 power gauntlet cast to do anything on any of the bosses. So that kind of felt real bad. Flame Sword was at times doing a lot more damage than Sun Sword, so I was just really confused that whole time.
It did seem that way. Every now and then, that one fighter with the fire sword would do a lot of damage. I was gonna say, I don't know if you know this, but Fire Shield and Ice Shield can be equipped by fighters.
Oh yeah, I just didn't want to open up the pause screen. I had stuff to do.
Okay, well, no, it was like I think at one point you were like equipping like a silver shield on your secondary fighter and stuff like that.
Oh,
and simple Sarah and I are like, equip the fire shield, or it was one of those shields, and you just left it there. We're just like, does he think it's promotion locked?
I probably just didn't read.
I mean, it happens.
I know permissions for fighters, but didn't read.
But I mean, obviously, you played that pretty good. What was your mindset? So, I guess one of the main things or talking points is you really wanted that tail.
Mm-hmm.
You got the tail, but then you didn't buy your life spells, and we're like, oh no, did he want it just in case he gets like an Xcal or something like that? Like, what was the reasoning why you wanted to get the promotion when you did, and then like you didn't get your life spells right? Then you waited for as long as you did.
Well, my plan was I saw the metal slimes because I just bolted for the incentive in Sky, and I said, oh, well, I could promote right now. I could get spell charges later, and I'll pick it up before Topher. I really just wanted the tail for finding a better sword. I didn't find a better sword, so it didn't do anything.
To be fair, the only better sword I think Wab found was Defense Sword down with the mermaids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was. I mean, and that was an interesting play. And I mean, because I was telling, the fans out there watching, I was like, so we got Power Bonk, we have no access to Temper. We're going to be going through these fiends spells and skills very quickly, potentially. So that's even more dangerous. We're under leveled. We're like 22-ish, I think, for both of you. And, a swirl or a tornado, like what we've seen on Wab side, was devastating. And even Fire 3s could hurt you too, because we didn't have enough ribbons. We only had 2, essentially. So it was definitely interesting there, and you made it through, you worked it, and the smart thing is you were able to have those life casts on your knights and your red wizard, so you could basically prevent yourself from wiping. So GG to you on that.
Yep, thank you.
I know I enjoyed watching you guys suffer. I mean, have a great time running. I got to do comms with Sunny, so I was excited for that also. Sunny, if you got any other questions and stuff like that, I'll toss it over to you.
I don't really have questions, but just one. That crash for that first seed, did that have any kind of impact on like your mental state or anything? Because you seem to have been making some very interesting choices.
Yeah, I was on full tilt. Well, not really full tilt, half tilt probably. So for both of the streams, or for both of the races, I had Live Split open. Live Split crashed first in the first race, and then BizHawk crashed. I was like, oh, okay. And I thought I was just gonna lose. I would have let him continue if he wanted to. Like, it was up to him, but thankfully, we both agreed to restart. And then Live Split crashed again after Kraken won on the second race. So I was just like, all right, I should just go before my computer crashes.
Yeah, that seems to have been the better life choice overall. I noticed that nobody seemed to want to stick around in Marsh. Nobody ever does, obviously, but both of you just kind of grabbed that canal and booked it. We placed any bets that's where like the Masmoon or Excalibur were?
So the way that I view Marsh in Air Flag set is if you find the canal there, there's generally not another loose item there, or if it is, like if it's just going to be a nice item, and then usually there's a loose in Earth. So I played it how I saw it, and it worked out pretty well. I didn't even think of going to Sea Shrine, honestly. I didn't even remember that I had the Oxio.
And that's fair enough. That seems to be something that you get and you forget about.
But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Sorry for the crashes and whatever. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, for everybody out there, once again, please give a shout out to Wab here for the sportsmanship and stuff like that he's shown. That we hope that a lot of runners would do in that situation. I know it's rough. We want to win and stuff like that. I really do appreciate that. He's a bigger man for doing that. I appreciate him. Hypes, you won. GG to you. Played out of your mind. You played loose, but not too loose.
Of course, got him.
We were a little worried there for a second. We're like, oh, he's pretty loose right now.
Nah.
But final thoughts real quick before you hypes, and I'll go over to Sunny, and then we'll get out of here because we got to give SG their channel back, and we got plenty of more Final Fantasy Randomizer all day.
Final thoughts? I'm going to fix my computer.
Fair enough.
That sounds like a plan to me.
Final thoughts for you, Sunny.
This has just been an incredible 2 games. Fantastic sportsmanship and honor out of everybody involved.
And there you have it. Sunny, thank you. Groggy Dog, thank you for pushing the 1s and 2s and being in the background, cooking all those pancakes and not letting us eat any of it. Really appreciate it. For all the fans out there, thank you for coming by early this morning and joining us in the broadcast booth. My name is Dang Wu. That was Sunny that joined me. Thank you once again. Speed Gaming, you're awesome. All of our broadcast partners are awesome. Hope to see you more throughout the day. So y'all have a great day, actually. Okay, have a great weekend.